So this is upper seal, has a gap in it, not
Okay.
ceiling.
Yeah, and everybody see, it's pretty obvious, if you haven't took a look at that. So yeah, this, yeah, so I'm assuming we have these,
Was the lower seal held?
we have this gap, you know, between the drawers, nice and tight like we want it. From just first noticing, it looks like we do need to bring this drawer up a little bit, and probably the bottom will have to follow suit to keep that gap there. So you can see that the gasket is kind of at an angle here, so it's kind of like that. So
What would cause that angle?
so really, so there's just no magnetism here to pull this part in. So we really want, so this, if we set this up, which I'll loosen this, that there's a magnet here in the frame that will pull that in, and that's just not happening. So this is just depressed and just gonna sit there like that. It's not gonna do anything. So
Is this how this would have arrived from True? Or is this a gasket that would have been taken out because we installed the wood door?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, usually from True, it would have been. Now, not to say that this didn't happen over time, but usually we would have made sure that this was pulling in all the way across. So that'd be a pretty big miss for us. Not to say we wouldn't maybe miss like a corner or something here and there, but for all the way across. And then also with these panels on there, I'm just guessing that somebody might have adjusted them to meet that expectation. So, but let's just see. We'll note the.
Although from our process, I'll bet it's more likely that whoever attached that just moved the wood. They didn't do any move on the drawer.
On the
They
drawer.
Just,
Yeah,
Correct,
they
because
just-
we would have aligned
Yeah.
the top of the drawer with the top of the drawer on the Amherst. So they would have aligned
Sure.
when it was in the customer's home. So
That
yes,
makes
to your
sense.
point, Dennis, it would have
Yeah.
just been the door front that would have been aligned, not
Right.
the drawer. Sorry, the drawer front, not the drawer box.
Yeah.
Be the weight of the wood. Kind
It, that was the next.
That's what I would think.
Yeah. So the weight could have a little bit to do with it as well.
Which would be good to note because Linear and Copenhagen are much heavier doors than Amherst.
That's gotta be an issue.
So I'll just pull this up.
Well, you got almost a 1/4 inch. I don't know. Wow, that's.
Yeah, there's a lot of vertical adjustability in those, more than there is horizontal. If there's a horizontal problem,
Yeah, that's a tough one.
something went wrong. You know, like is a bigger concern. The vertical adjustment's more standard, and it's going to help that gasket line up with the plastic frame as well on the face of the unit.
So then at this point, we got that right side up, this left side needs to come up just a little bit more. Probably just go all the way extreme, and then. So, due to this gasket being in the position it was in, probably be best to rotate it, and it's gonna kind of have that memory. So we could try to heat it up or try rotating it, see if it seals at the bottom better. So yeah, it's still, we're gonna have to get that memory to come back.
Would a new gasket,
A new gasket would definitely do it. Yeah.
would we suggest putting a new gasket in versus having to try to
Flip it.
either flip it or make it,
yeah,
or make it get back to its
Yeah.
normal.
Exactly.
Especially if
Just
you're
put a
gonna
new
stock
gasket.
gaskets,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think that's gonna be your easiest solution.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
So,
So, I mean, we could like maybe take one from, you know, that drawer, put it on here.
Is there only one size drawer so that all the drawer
Correct.
gaskets are
Yep.
gonna be the same? So
Door
we only need
gaskets
to
are all the
stock
same,
one
drawer
size.
gaskets are all the same.
Yeah.
So it's really just two sizes that you'll need.
Okay.
Should keep it pretty straightforward.
So then this scenario, replace the door gasket
Yeah.
versus trying to
Yeah.
manipulate it or
Yeah.
heat it up to get it to be more pliable or
Right.
back to its original state.
Yeah, if you had a gasket on hand, just,
Yep.
that would be your best bet.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it would. If you did it and you wanted to try to give it a shot, then that would be something to try, but.
And that gasket's gonna be cheaper in the amount of labor it takes to make the other
Yeah,
adjustments and the
yeah.
time and everything
Yeah.
else, so.
Okay.
If it's, hey, I need to solve it right this moment, we can
Yeah.
try those other
Yeah.
elements, but it would always be better if you have the gasket, just swap the gasket.
Yep.
We're not gonna lose sleep over a
Right.
gasket to y'all
Right.
as a warranty call, that's not something that we're gonna quibble over.
Okay.